Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. The R-Rated Podcast. This week's guest is...
Welcome to the R-Rated Podcast. Today's guest is Kay, my friend who I met in San Diego, but now we both live in LA. And Kay actually does a lot of fit modeling. Well, she runs a whole agency that does fit modeling. For people who don't know what fit modeling is, can you give a little insight? Because it's different from just regular modeling where you go and try on clothes. It's a little different than that, so I'll let you kind of take the wheel on this.
I know. So fit modeling, it's so crazy. I didn't even know this avenue of modeling even existed.
Me neither, actually, until I met you. You were like, oh, do you want to do some fit modeling? I was like...
You're like, I don't work out.
I was like, I was like, I'm not fit. I don't work out. I'm not going to pretend like I work out. But then now I actually did start getting into working out.
Oh, yeah,
still,
you have.
But I still wouldn't
Good job. I've been seeing you. You look good.
Thank you too. But I still wouldn't be like, I'm a fit model.
Yeah. So in modeling, there's so many different avenues. The agency I currently work for right now, we do predominantly fitting. So fitting is kind of like a human mannequin for brands. So each brand has different target audiences. Yep. For example, Forever 21 is more of younger girls. So they're looking for more youthful, straight, smaller bodies. So for that, for example, a girl's bust for a small would be 33 inches. But with Ivy Park and Adidas, their size small bust is 35 inches because they work more for curvy athletes, more curvier people. Yeah. So each brand kind of sizes their sizing differently. And so basically brands will reach out to me and they'll give me a list of measurements and let me know what they're looking for. Okay. I pull a list of the models that we have that have the most on-spot specs and send them over there.
Similar sizing to what they're looking for.
Yeah. And then usually we'll do a casting. They'll pick one or two of the girls that we pull. And then after that, once they book one, it's usually continuously fitting. So the person would come in, let's say they're a size small and they're a big company like Adidas or MeUndies. They'll come in once a week for an hour up to 4 hours, trying on all their size small samples, giving feedback to designers. And then once that kind of goes through, then that's what they put on the racks. So it's really cool. It's really interactive modeling.
So when your clients are looking for models, do they go through your website and look through your models first, or do you actually pick the handful of models that you think would work with them first?
Yeah, so I usually pull it. I pull a list. I do give them access to all the models on the roster. Okay. But I'll pull a nice hefty list and I'll break it down by size, bra size, everything curvier or straighter or there's so many different kind of body shapes and body types. So I just try to make it easier for them because that's the whole point of going through an agency is so that we give them the cream of the crop.
It's almost like a casting director.
Yeah.
But literally. But it's not for looks. It's more body size, right? Or are they looking at looks? Do you feel they're looking at the face? Honestly, because I feel people, I wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
Do you feel okay, this person, these two people had the same exact body size, but maybe one, I don't even want to say prettier, but do you feel sometimes you're oh, they totally went with this one because she's been getting booked more because she looks more of a model type, has a model face or whatever. For fitting,
that's a really good question. For fitting, they really care about their target audience. So let's say for example, I can't even think of one.
Maybe Fenty.
Fenty.
Savage, right?
Yeah, Savage Fenty. We work with them as well.
Rihanna's lingerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what are they looking for?
So they'll give me an age group, age gap of what they're looking for, and they're going off of their sales, so who they mainly sell to. So they're
what is that?
I believe it was 20s to 35. Okay. And then they were looking for a mature full woman. That was when I was pulling girls.
Mature full woman. What? If you just threw that at me, and I'm trying to picture who I would pick to send. What body image am I?
They want real, natural, and full. So for example, they don't want a girl with an hourglass. They want a girl with tummy. They want real bodies that are more general to who they're trying to sell to. Okay. Because she's really big about body positivity. Right. And I'm a girl with a small waist, but I have no problem stepping off that pedestal and letting some other girls go out there that don't get seen as much into this industry, and I'm just trying to find the best fit models for these brands.
Do you feel the fit modeling industry is more diverse than regular
modeling
industry? Because you're not, So I want to like clarify, because fit modeling, you're not gonna get like, you're not gonna be, if you're fit model, like you're not gonna be on a campaign or a billboard ever, right? Like it's just strictly trying on the clothes, making sure it's accurate to size, and giving the feedback, and then that's like it. Like you're getting paid like hourly and stuff, but like you're never gonna be on their like cover of anything, right?
For fittings, yes, but the industry is so crazy. Like once you have your foot in the door, like you don't know who you're going to meet. And there's been a lot of times where I booked a male model for Ivy Park as their fit model, and then they ended up booking him for
line for anyone that doesn't know.
And then we ended up booking him for a campaign, and he did it with like James Harden and Beyonce. Yeah, so we booked that, and that was awesome.
Somebody was there that day that like had higher up connections.
Yeah, so everyone's kind of grouped up. So there's like the tech groups, there's like the print groups, the e-com groups, the influencer marketing groups. So they're all pretty like, because Adidas is such a big company, there's so many different little groups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's
there's
like
so many like
someone saw
to this. It's not just like just the clothes. It's like the styling of the clothes.
Oh yeah, the charisma, the energy, and like with fit modeling. Priscilla here, I booked her before for a client. So that was fun. When I came up to her, I was like, hey, you know, it's really weird because this job has taught me how to like measure people's bodies with my eyes.
Yeah. So let's talk about what you got me, which because I think it'd be.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
So she hits me up and she's like, "Are you interested in doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah, it sounds fun." Plus, I needed the extra cash because it was a slow process to get like a job in the film industry. So she hooked me up, which I was very grateful for. And what was cool, like the hourly pay for this was like, I think it was like $100 an hour. Right?
Yeah,
$100 an hour. Yeah, which is great. Like the pay, I feel like is totally worth it.
Yeah.
And to like go there and give feedback and try on clothes, like to me, it was like a fun job. Like it's not like, oh, like you know, put like it's not like a heavy labor.
Yeah, you're excited to go.
Yeah, and it's like cool because you meet people like designers and like people who are making like clothes. Well, I don't know how to sew, so to me it's like very impressive. I'm like, oh my god, like you made this, and I'm gonna try it on. You know, I could just say it's a lingerie brand.
Yeah, lingerie brand,
sexy lingerie brand, and sexy Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
So I go there, and she's like, well, first before all that, she like measures me, and like I said, she knows like all my sizing because she was like.
Yeah, we're up in everything. Yeah. Especially with lingerie. Yeah. You have to. Lingerie, you can't lie. Yeah. You cannot lie.
So she was like, okay, like, let me measure you. Got my sizes. And then we, like, I got some photos. Still need to work on that, but got some photos.
Yes, please.
She sent them in. And then this lingerie Halloween, like, sexy Halloween costume manufacturer or, like, I guess company was like, we'll take her. Like, she fits.
Oh, yeah.
She fits what we're looking for. So I went, and I was a little nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not a model. Like, you know, I went into panic mode. I was like, suddenly I don't know how to try on clothes. No, I'm just kidding. But I went, and everybody was, like, super nice. And
yeah, they're awesome.
They're like, oh, like, are you the, you know, size small model or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And they give me, like, a rack of clothes. Like, sometimes it was anywhere from, like, 5 outfits. Sometimes it was, like, 20 outfits. Once it was like literally just 3, but you still get paid like a minimum time. I don't know if that's for every like. Yeah. Is that for every gig, or was that just like what your agency requires? Like,
so for the most part, we usually have at least a 1 hour minimum. So with agencies, I try to break the stigma for agencies because there's a lot of how do you say this? Poor experiences that models have gone through with previous agencies where they'll like take a higher payment like from you guys. Like I've heard a girl before tell me like, oh, my last agency took 30%.
That's pretty high.
That's a lot.
Like,
I mean,
like what, like 15, 20?
Yeah, usually like the standard between 10 to 20. Okay. If the agency's taking more than that, then if they're taking more, then I would ask for more. I'd be like, okay, well, if you're taking more from me, I want at least a 4 hour minimum for every fitting.
Right. That makes sense.
You know, or I want to be booked for only print campaigns or things that are higher rates. Yep. For fittings, we always say at least a 1 hour minimum because you're driving all the way out there, driving back. But yours was a little bit out there. I think it was like City of Industry.
Mine was like the City of Industry, which is, it's probably like an hour. Well, from the Valley, because like I'm deep in the Valley, North Hollywood, so it took like an hour sometimes. But I didn't mind it because I always got like a 2 hour minimum. Yeah, even if you're there for 5 minutes. Exactly. And so like, I honestly was never really there for the full 2 hours. It was always like an hour and a half or an hour. So it was just like, I didn't mind it. Plus it was it wasn't like every week, but it was like sometimes 2 times a month or like 3 times, like depending on how many like new
and during certain months too,
exactly,
right?
Like certain months are more
seasons,
popular.
Girl.
Exactly, like certain seasons were more popular. So like Valentine's Day because they did lingerie, Halloween, like August through September was really popular because they're getting ready for Halloween. Yeah,
they're doing it for the season before.
And then they do like a catalog, like photo shoot. So they're like, okay, can you like try this on for the photo shoot? It was so funny because I like definitely got like a firsthand look of like all the different costumes of like next year, and it's like the new sexy slutty version of like Princess Jasmine. Like,
yeah, I saw them.
Like, her outfit in red, and I was like, oh, I was like regular Princess Jasmine. Should I be like evil Princess Jasmine?
Right.
It's like a red costume.
We love that brand.
It was fun. It was a cool experience. I did one other one where it was like sundresses, but I don't think I got booked for that one because I was too short.
Oh
right?
no, they liked you. We tried to book you, but remember you were out of town or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh,
yeah, out of town. That was a photo shoot too.
I know.
So that was cute.
So
I know.
That would have felt like really model like though, which
that's the OG.
I would have felt a little bit out of my comfort zone because I'm not a model. So and let alone modeling with other people and like having that photo shoot like atmosphere would stress me out because I'm like, oh my god, how did I like pose? Like I feel like I can only pose well if like there's a mirror in front of me,
right?
Then I could like. So what is like okay? Like what is a daily like what does your daily routine look like, and how does your day end? Because how many models are under your agency right now?
We have about 300 models, male and female sizes, like extra small to 5X.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
And are you like promising them like I'm gonna get you for sure booked, or is it just like you sign on with us and I'll try to get you booked as much as I can? There's no like.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like how deep of a commitment is it for you to have to like get them gigs, or is it not like that? Like what's the vibe?
We are like a smaller boutique agency, so how do I say? I'm very hands-on, and I meet every model that we sign. So I know faces, I know everyone's names, I know everyone's measurements in my head. I know.
You see them, you're like,
right? I know. I'm like 35 bust. I know it.
Do you have to get them like a certain amount of gigs, like a month or a year, or like is it just kind of like first come first serve, or like sorry, like this is what they're looking for, and if you meet the requirements, like. So when I get like submissions online, I get like a lot of emails, and they'll be like, oh, hi, my name is so-and-so. I wear these sizes. I always take that lightly because you guys don't know what sizes you're wearing. You really don't. Like, you really don't. Like, or someone will be like, I'm a small. And I'm like, you're small with Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova runs up. Right.
But
I'm extra small on Fashion Nova because they're like, I feel like their brand is like more targeted towards very like
curvy.
But
it's like
big boobs.
Yeah.
Like it fit my old body more, like back when I was like
all the San Diego days.
Yeah, high school, college. I lost a lot of weight, so I lost my boobs, and I lost a lot of stuff. Anyway, like it's so sad because like I used to love having big boobs, and now I lost all that, but now it's like I have a flat stomach, which I didn't have before. So it's like.
I just want to say shout out to the Itty Bitty Titty Committee because we're holding it down and she's trying to hate on us.
No, I'm there with you.
No, I'm kidding. Body positivity.
Yes,
we don't speak negative. We're blessed for your new body.
Yes,
it got you through COVID. It got you a new home, a new job.
You're right.
So
we love this
new body. Who's this?
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj.
New body. Who this? With a D. So tell me, like, what's like the hardest thing to like for this, like in this job, like what's the hardest thing to do? Like, do you think just like actually like being able to work and match your models, like is that the hardest part, or would you say there's something more difficult?
I think it's that I'm just the middleman, period. So I get like, so agencies will reach out and they'll look for a certain thing, and they'll give me ethnicities, stuff like this, and do
you feel like you see more like are they more inclusive with like
they try to be. Some brands try to be because it's and some don't.
Like, or some obviously
I can't.
You really just want it to be like all white people.
Yeah, like they'll tell me like, oh, I'm looking for African American women. So I'm like, okay, cool, and I'll pull a list of girls that are chocolate complexion or deeper, and then they'll be like, no, none of those work for me, and then they'll pull someone that looks like me. And I'm like, okay, like that doesn't.
It's like almost like the tannest they'll go is like Hispanic, like
yeah, but they want like even like with Hispanics, they'll get like a white woman and have her be
Like
Hispanic
half.
passing.
Oh,
You know?
yeah. So it's never like full
yeah,
Latin, full
so
African American,
yeah,
full maybe
everything.
Indian.
Yeah, so
full, yeah.
I'm in a weird spot because it's like I'm being told by these agencies what they're looking for, and I want to bring representation out. Like that's my biggest thing is I want to make sure everyone's seen, everyone feels like they could open a magazine and be like, oh my god, that's me.
Yeah.
Like I actually booked this one thing for a Zazie bridal, and it was like shapewear for all different sizes. So it was like a rectangle shape, triangle shape, apple shape, hourglass shape, and all the women were like different ages, aging to I think like 55.
I love that.
So super awesome, and I loved opening it. And like there was different girls on there. Maybe we could get like a little drop down of the picture right here. And so I'm just really big on that. But then I also understand that this is a business, and so I have to still make my agency money. And sometimes like I have to just kind of
like happy as well.
Yeah,
it's like an odd balance to like it's a weird position to be in because like you want to like be inclusive and bring in all like all the different types of bodies and colors, but like it's hard when maybe they don't want to and you kind of have to like push back. Like how far do you go? How much do you fight for like this situation? So what if they're like, stop pushing this, like I don't want this, we're not gonna work with you. It goes back again to the instant. This is what Brickell was saying. She was saying that nowadays modeling is so different because they go on your Instagram and it's all about like followers and like shit like that. And now it's like that in the freaking like
every
fit modeling
every like category
industry as well. Yeah, in every category. Do a lot of your models, do they actually want to be like print models as well, or is this what they want to do like full time, like fit modeling? We have some girls that made this like a full time career. That's like, because honestly, it's a great full time career. I was thinking that I was like, if I wasn't so passionate about the film industry, like I would totally get into that because it's fun. It's cool. Like one of our models, I could say her name. Shout out to Alia Paris. She is a full time size like 1X 2X plus size model, and she works with so many different brands, and it's so awesome because she's like literally helping brands like extend their line for plus size. And so nowadays, as you know, like we didn't really have plus size back then. So all these brands are jumping on. How long has plus size been in the market now? It's crazy because medium was plus size for the longest time. What was medium? Like size 6 was plus size. Medium? If you go look at like TV shows from like literally the early 2000s, they're like from White Chicks, the movie White Chicks. And she's like, oh, I'm so fat. Yeah. She's like a size 4'6". Yeah. No, that movie is just, oh my God. But I remember like when she's trying on her like homecoming dress and they're like, it doesn't zip. And she's like, what do you mean it doesn't zip? Or like Mean Girls when she's remember that one movie. Mean Girls, it was like 3, 5, and it was 1, 3, and 5. Yeah, we only carry size up to 3 or those like are 5. Kind of junior sizes, and so they kind of carry over to like small and then like a small medium. So the fact that is considered fat is crazy. That is crazy. Like body. So I'd be like a 3'1". I feel like this whole like body image stuff. So it's really crazy. I mean, I don't even want to say it's come a long way because it's still we're getting there. Progress is better than nothing, and we got to just take it a little bit every day. Mm-hmm. Do you have older models, like in their maybe like 40 or like 50 and above? Like, is that common still for fit modeling? Yeah, I have one that just did the Zazie bridal one, and then I think I booked another one for like a Harley Davidson thing. So it's all about like the brand. So what, like how, like what are all the brands that you guys work with? Like it's anywhere from like clothing to like lingerie. Oh yeah. To swimsuit. Yeah, some of like my favorite clients I've worked with. I like you guys all, but you know. I like you guys. But you know, you like talk to people over time and you build the relationships with them, and you know like their whole team, and it's like friendly, and then I get excited, and they end up like really liking me and telling me like, for example, like the brand you work with like Avenue. I mean, I want to say it like Avenue. We book their size extra small, medium, large, extra large, and 1X. That's 6 sizes. Yeah. So it's cool because they end up like loving me and trusting me and like knowing that I'm going to provide the best representation for what they're looking for. And sometimes like, well, a girl will leave and they're like, well, we need another girl this size. And I'll go in the streets and I'll look around and I'm like, it's so crazy. Like I've done it a few times. So you actually, when you go out, like scouting, do you scout people, or do you wait for them to like call you, or is there like a website where you can find people, or do you help, like, do you go through your friends? Like, what's the process of like getting models?
the first step is always like the submission. So we'll get emails saying like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm looking to join this agency.
Yeah.
My first red flag is if you say I work out every day, I'm a fit model and I want a fit model, then you didn't even Google what fit modeling is. Why did you apply to us?
Then you would think it's like all working out
yeah.
and stuff like that.
And it's fine. Like we do need like builder bodies.
Okay.
We
like,
always need that too because we work with we work with some brands that like do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like if you're reaching out to me and you're saying like, oh, I work out every day.
Yeah.
I'm a fit model. I'm like, you didn't even Google what we do. You even look at our website.
You don't even know what we do.
Yeah, look at the emails, and after that, then I'll go through our Instagram DMs, and then a lot of brands, like I said, like they'll work with us for all their sizing.
Yeah.
So like I'm born and raised in California. I lived in the Bay, I lived in San Diego, lived in Imperial Valley, I've lived LA. So I have a lot of friends and family.
Yes.
So I hit up P.
Yeah.
I was like, this brand needs someone for extra small. You fit it.
You fit it.
Yeah. And then actually Priscilla's brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was so excited about that. So basically, my brother just recently moved to LA as well for college. He's going to LMU. And he's like, hey, like, if you know any, like, jobs or any side gigs that I could do. And I was like, well, I don't, but I think my friend Kay does. So I connected them, and sure shit, Kay got him signed on the agency, and now he's been doing he did like maybe one, right? Like before this?
He did like 2 bookings with like one brand.
Yeah.
They're like really small little, I think it was like underwear. Oh my God, it runs in the family, lingerie models. You guys are lingerie models.
That's so funny. But anyway, he ended up going to a Playboy.
Playboy.
Yeah, which he was actually super excited. I think, I don't know.
A Playboy fit model? That's crazy.
When you're in college, you know. You can kind of use it on the ladies. But yeah, he went. He was like telling me about it. He was like, I went to the headquarters. They had me try on like some Playboy jeans and like one pair of underwear. And I guess so. Before they don't just like sign you, like they don't just
book you on the spot,
right? They like go, and it's almost like, would you say it's like an audition?
Yeah, it's a casting audition.
Yeah, like a casting, like
a go-see.
Yeah, like a go-see. Exactly. You go. They're like, all right,
see.
See you.
Like,
you
go. You see.
You're not a catfish. You know what I mean? And then they give you the stuff to try on.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, like
they talk to a whole team.
Yeah, they're like, they're like, all right, this person works, or they don't. And then if they like you, they'll call you to come back and then actually do the fit modeling, right? And like try on the clothes. So my brother's at that stage now. They called him back. They were like, we would love to have you back and work with you, and he was super pumped about it. And now I'm like, damn, he gets all the cool brands.
I know Playboy's cool. They haven't gone back to me yet. We haven't booked him officially yet, but they were like, we really like him.
How often do you work with Playboy? Like, is it common to work with these like brands more than like once or twice a year, or like is it
it just depends on the brand and like what their sampling is. So like Adidas, they have so many different little subcategories, like Ivy Park, they have the basketball division, golf division,
they're collabing with like so many different
so it's constant working with them, so it's ongoing. And then like the brand you worked with, like Avenue, they kind of did stuff within like 6 months. It was like 6 months of fitting, and then they would go ghost for a while, and then they kind of come back. So it depends on the samples. And big brands like going through agencies, especially like small ones like us, because we're really hands-on, and we actually like help train our models too with like fitting. So we give you guys like the packets, we prepare our models with like what to expect before they go in for a fitting or casting. They do like a little fit training with us.
What's like, do you have to teach any like model etiquette, or like do you have to like prepare your models? Or, like, what do you tell them when they're, like, about to go to these, gigs? Like, hey, like, show up on time, or, like, don't wear this, or wear, like, a certain amount of makeup. Like, does that stuff matter? Or is it just kind of like, okay, like, we got you a gig, be there at this time.
See ya.
Yeah, like, what is it? Like, how much are you involved in that process?
Oh, yeah. So for females and males, we ask everyone to just look as natural and as clean as possible. So, like, don't do any crazy nails. Yep. We had a model that did not shower once. Oh. And we got a nice little email talking about that. Oh. Yeah. It was good.
Oh, no.
So it's like, and then it made me have to start, now I have to like verbally say like, hey, like, don't forget, say, like, they're getting really close to you. This is a fitting. This is a casting. They're going to, it was a person's like first time casting. So I didn't really understand like how intimate it is, but it's very intimate because
it's very
intimate because we give them the models and they're looking for a certain size, and we kind of go off of like 3 or 4 measurements, and then they have them come in and then like double check our work.
Yeah.
So like for her with lingerie
God.
so
It's,
insane, like
so
wrists,
fast.
your neck, your
Yeah.
ankles, like everything.
Like at one point there was like one outfit that was like super short, like my butt cheeks were like literally about to like hang out. It was like a dress, but they sewed it, like the people who sewed it, like just it was off.
Yeah.
And so my like butt cheeks were coming out, and they literally were like going down and like trying to like pull it down and like, you know, like
fix the
measuring
fabric.
it, and like they're like, oh, sorry if we like poke you, because they had to like stitch certain
Yeah.
stuff, and I was like, never thought like I would spend my Sunday doing this, you know what I mean? But I don't know, like I feel like you have to have some kind of confidence, and also like kind of not overthink, like, oh,
Yeah.
like they're about my butt, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you kind of just have to like, I don't know what the right word is, but you kind of,
It's a job.
It's a job.
It's a job. You're going in there as a mannequin. Like your job is to be fitted on.
I went into like full like no emotions.
You don't care.
You don't care.
You're just like,
you're here
oh,
to do a job.
take my bra off, cool. Take my underwear off, cool. And you do this for me, yeah, cool. It's just very
like they're just like, we're just trying to fucking like
normal.
You know, get the sizing. Like we're not here to like.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there has been, you know, jobs in the past. Not saying with you.
I've luckily never experienced it.
But I'm sure there's been situations where they have maybe gotten touched by like a, you know,
mainly with print.
Or whatever.
I don't really hear about it with fitting, because fitting's mainly like women or like gay men.
Yes.
But
that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna dodge that.
Passes.
No free passes. But you know, generally speaking, we don't really have those problems. But when it comes to print, that's where it gets a little weird, because that's where there's a lot of men that are doing the photography, and they'll direct girls to do certain
photographers
things.
Have kind of like a little,
they put a bad rep.
Yeah.
So our models will go to us and be like, hey, do you have a list of photographers? Because we don't know who to go to. We don't know who to trust. So it's like really scary, you know?
Yeah, no, it would be scary, because
they'll tell you like you can't bring anybody with you. Like they'll say weird stuff like that. So if a photographer tells you that, female or male,
to, like, a fucking psycho.
The keywords for photographers is unless you are like experienced, trade for print. So like people do trade where they'll be like, oh, I'll model for free and you take my photos, and then I'm giving you a free service and you're gonna give me the edited photos of the service. That's sketchy.
It sounds sketchy, but I get like you need your photos, and like when you're like starting off as a new photographer, like you know, you need models.
Or you're moving to another location, like
so
sometimes.
I get it. Like you need to collab with people, but it's also like, oh, why word it so fucking creepy? I don't know. Like don't say like,
they call it trade.
Don't come with anyone. I live in a dark alleyway. Like,
or they'll be like, oh, I'll pick you up.
flag.
Like I drive a 2-seater or something weird. If the person's legit, they're going to go to a place that's like public. I wouldn't go to a home yet with them unless like I knew them. Because if it's free work, I would be like, okay, let's do it outside.
Yeah.
And if they're like, no, it's studio in my apartment, no. If you're gonna do a studio situation, do it like at a place that's actually public, where there's people and there's like security guards there. Because if you do it, I've heard some things. Nothing with us, thank God.
I was gonna say, like,
never. How,
like, I mean, if that's kind of stuff did come
but girls
up,
get scared though. Like girls,
like, you'd have to get involved, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that's where it gets tricky as the middleman. Is that we have to be like, okay, you know, I mean, it's never happened. Like knock on wood. Yeah, that's marble, but okay. That's marble. I know we look around. I'm like, I know. Is that what?
I don't know. I just see people do it.
I don't know.
The middleman, you kind of are put in a tough position, because like you obviously have to care for your models and your clients.
We're protecting the agency too.
But
so like, let's say the model met with the photographer like on a different day that we didn't book them.
Oh yeah,
that's not on us.
That's right, because that's not on board.
Yeah,
time. But if it was,
I mean, I would want my model to tell me as soon as possible, like to call me and be like, hey, like go to the bathroom real quick, call me and be like, hey, this is getting weird. I will come pick you up. I live in Los Angeles. I work from home. I will pick you up, and I will call the police really quick, and I will get involved. But yeah, I don't even want to think about that. But yeah, I would definitely get involved in that way. Like if you're on my time. Yeah. But what I do is I do like really good background checks.
Oh, you actually do background checks?
Yeah, I do. Girl.
On your models or the clients?
On the clients. So like sometimes like we'll have clients that are like small businesses, and they're starting their business in their home. So they'll be like,
I don't want to send my model to yeah. I mean, that's smart. That's good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you background check like, you know, like what, like Adidas or something?
No, I can't do them. But like, if it's at a home, then yeah.
No, that's good, because I mean, you never know.
Oh, I search.
You're like,
I searched all social media. They'll be like, oh, I'm starting this new company. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll send me your website. Send me like your samples. And they're like, oh, well, I don't have a website. Okay, well, send me like your LLC. Send me your corporation. Like, send me something. I need something to have over you. And then I'll give them contracts to sign. And I'm like, okay, cool. I have information.
Okay, so your clients can literally like vary from like small business owners from like starting out of their garage maybe to all the way to these like freaking ginormous brands that are constantly collabing with like other big brands as well, like other big celebrities. Wow, that's a lot of pressure because like you know the scale is so large.
It's huge, and you have to like move accordingly. So like when I'm giving rates and I'm pulling models, and it's for a smaller brand, I know some girls that are like, oh, I want a 150 an hour minimum. And I'm like, okay, cool. I respect that. Yeah. I won't pull them for a list, but I will add them in the bottom, and I'll be like, hey, this person, but their rate is this. Right. And if they tell me no, this is my budget, this is all I got. Yeah. I'll contact the model and be like, hey, this is what they have.
They're interested in you, but this is all they can offer.
If you're interested, cool. Not, don't worry about it. So I try to give the models like the option, but I do understand that they have like smaller budgets. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? And everyone has to, every brand has to start somewhere too. So it's like, I get wanting to like work with them to accommodate.
Some love it. Some love working with startups. They'll tell me, I only want to.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's because they're friendlier and like, because they're like.
Because you're more involved in the process and you get to see it go from the bottom up.
They might like keep you and as you can like rise together.
Yeah. What we've done too is like with some brands that are startup and they're like, we need a girl continuously. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, how about in a year we revisit her rate? And then we'll do that. And then I'll boost it up. So.
What's like the highest rate you can
for fitting
that you booked for a fit model? Yeah, and do you feel like it was because of her experience or it was just she got lucky with this like this company pays that much, you know?
I think it's a guy I actually booked, and I think it was I think it was like $200 an hour. We book a lot more. We're able to like negotiate rate based off of like experience. Like let's say for the lingerie brand, if you work with lingerie before that, they're like, oh heck yeah, because it's a whole different thing than denim. And
it is whole different. You have to be like not like confident, but you can't be like, you know, like like shy.
Like you're confident, but you're in your place and you're in your lane.
You're not like cocky confident where you're like, I'm so hot like that. Because that's nobody likes that's that.
Print.
Nobody wants to fucking work. Yeah,
Prince.
But you know, like you want to have some kind of confidence where it's like, okay, like stand up straight, like like give some feedback, confident.
You want to be who they're trying to sell to,
right?
I have some like models that are like rock stars that are skateboarders, but then I'll be like, hey, I'm booking you for this brand, and they'll go cleaned up like if they've never, you know.
I mean, I do know wrong. Because like when I like honestly, even when I did the lingerie stuff, I'm like, got to shower, got to shave everything from top to bottom. Like,
they can never know.
I'm like, not one single hair. What happens if, let's say, you send a model and I don't want to say they're not doing what they need to do, but like they're kind of like maybe breaking a rule or like doing something that they weren't supposed to, and you kind of have to deal with their heat because like. It's on you too.
It's on me.
Like the good stuff is like on you because they're like, oh, like thank you for finding me this great model. Like she killed it. But if they also fuck up or they're terrible, it's on you as well. Yeah. So like, how do you deal with that?
So this job has taught me everybody.
I feel like I just saw you in a PTSD moment. You're like
because it's like so yeah, it's hard. It's so hard. It's like it's really taught me that people just want to be heard. Okay. And so
that's a great thing to point out because
it's so hard. I want to be heard too, though, but no one wants to hear me. Oh,
yeah.
I'm the middleman, so no one wants to hear from me.
Listen to the middleman. Come on, they have a voice too.
Yeah, I'll be like, they'll be upset and they're venting to me about what our model did.
Okay, yeah.
Like, let's say our model did something like, let's say they were like 30 minutes late, or they were on their phone, or we had one take a nap
on the job. Yes. Oh. Was she like, did she go out or something? Not saying that that's okay. I'm just like, I've been hearing this like, I've actually heard this as an excuse before. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. I went out the night before, and I'm like, don't even say that.
Don't even say it. Even suck it up.
Just fucking tell me that like
later.
Just don't.
Never. Don't even say it.
Don't even say that. Like, don't
speak
say that you're fucking partying and that's why you're falling asleep on the job.
Yeah.
Like, that just makes you seem so unresponsible.
Yeah. No. I've seen some.
So I heard, like, I had just recently heard that, and it kind of like turned me off because I was like, that you're not being responsible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
this is a job.
We're all showing up at this time doing this job, and like you're not.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's like, why do you get special like
treatment?
And
it's like people think this job is just like fun because it's a model
right.
job. I'm like, no, this is a real career because like these people are waiting off your body to like make these measurements. Like we've had models that will tell them like, hey, you know, they want to see you twice a week, or once a week. This is continuous until whenever. Then like a week later, they're like, oh, I'm leaving out of town for 2 weeks, and I'm like, what? I'm Mr. Krabs, like. Because then now I have to go and tell the client, and then the client's like, well, you told me that you sent me people that are available.
Yeah.
So then I can't tell you not to go somewhere. Right. So then I'm just in a spot where I have to like find a sub, but then I have to go through the whole casting thing all over again.
Right, because it can't just be anybody.
Because they need to measure him again.
Right. Yay! Well, thank you so much for coming on and giving us insight, because I had a great time talking to you, and I feel like everyone needed to know a little bit about the fucking agency and fit modeling side of things. And yeah, I hope you come back sometime.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.